Hey guys, what is up? Today I'm doing something a little different. I've just been going through some of my older things, and I found some pretty cool old technology. Some of my favorite things I used to just absolutely love. So you know what? Figured might as well share them with you. So let's get right into this. First thing is something everybody should have, and it is an old Game Boy. This is Game Boy Color. I believe lime green was the color. I'm not really sure. Man, this was my very first portable handheld. I never ended up getting a Game Boy or Game Boy Pocket, but when this came along, I just knew I had to have it. I remember trying to get up the money for it. I think it was about $100. And that was a lot of money for me back then. I was trying to figure out how to how to get the money any way I could. But yeah, this thing. Actually, I bet it still works. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no batteries. Hang on, actually, one second. Let me see if I can. I think I might just have some batteries right here. Haha. Xbox, gotta love it. And yes, I'm too cheap to buy a rechargeable pack. So whatever. Got the batteries. Let's go ahead and just pop them in right here. I know this thing still works. I used it not too long ago. Be my luck I break it. What do we got here? A Pokemon game. Gotta love that. Okay, let's try this out. There we go. Volume on there. Yeah, let's play it for a second. Oh man, I used to play this game so much. Oh man, that brings back memories. Oh man. Well, this one of my favorite things. This along with my original PlayStation. Sadly, I do not have right now. But yeah, Game Boy Color, awesome. And while I'm on it, I found a huge stack of games for it. And there's a lot more I know. So yeah, you can see all kinds of them. Let's see what we have here. Yu-Gi-Oh! Bunch of Pokemon. Wow. Turok, Harry Potter game. I know I have lots more than this, but that's just all I had right here. Now, let's go on to another Game Boy, because I used to love these. A Game Boy Advance, something most people should have had. If you're a bit younger, you might not have had one of these. And you can see most of my stuff still works, but this stupid battery door broke off this broke off like within a week of me buying this. But this was another one. You can see it's got well, let's see here if I can show you. You can see it's see-through, so you can see all the guts. A Game Boy Advance, I remember this was awesome. This was basically, well, just awesome. And let me go over here. I have a cool accessory for it called the e-reader. If you've never heard of an e-reader, what this was is, let me just plug this in. You see that this goes into the Game Boy Link cable. Just push that in. And what you did was, you ran special cards through this, and then it would give you special things on the Game Boy, such as like, well, just all kinds of stuff. It was very cool. What it was that you could buy trading cards. I think it was different trading cards. It came with cards, and you scanned them, and you could get mini games. I remember there was Donkey Kong, stuff like that. That was pretty cool. I remember this was like, this used to be all kinds of money. I found it for like $10 after they stopped making them, so I knew I had to buy it. Definitely very cool. Okay, and lastly, but definitely not least, we have a Game Boy Advance SP. Like I said, these used to be big into these. So let's see here. We got some games over there, and the Game Boy itself. This is one of my absolute favorites. I actually bought a DS Lite, a few years ago, and I got rid of it. It was this so much better. As you can see, it's actually, the camera doesn't pick up. Maybe you see a little bit right there and there. It's pretty scratched up. It's got the silver, but still, it is seriously awesome. What game do I have in here actually? Yu-Gi-Oh! That was a long time ago. Yeah, this thing actually still works perfectly. Let's see, what is it, 5, 6 years old or so? Just about the only problem is the battery doesn't take a whole lot of charge. It dies after about an hour or so. See here, it's kind of big, so try to fit in the whole thing. See here, it's actually had the backlit. This is basically like the Game Boy, but it had the folding design, which if I compare it to this, although they played the same games, you can see that about the same thickness, but much smaller. And when you opened it up, it was very cool. And the main thing was with this was just it had the backlit screen, which I can show you that in a second, and the rechargeable battery. Boy, I used to hate, like, with this thing burnt up. Oh man, I went through a few 4 or 5, well, I went through at least four AA batteries a week. It was crazy. Anyway, let's just go ahead and just fire this up. Still works perfectly. And you can see the backlit screen, which that was kind of sometimes hard to see, but with that, man, you go just about anywhere. This thing, I use this for years. I still occasionally, I haven't used it in about a year or so, but I still but seriously, this one of my absolute favorites. So let's actually just put this back in here. Let's get away from Game Boys and go to something most people should have, and it is a CD player. This is not really that special or anything, but I had just found this, and I remember when I first got this, I never really used to listen to music. And I got my first CD. I was like, "Wow, this is so cool!" And I was just, yeah, it was funny. But I don't know. I just found this. I thought it was really cool. But yeah, now this one actually was not mine. This was my dad's, but I still used to use it all the time. It is one of these old Nokia cell phones. I'm sure most people had. This is like one of them. I mean, this was the cell phone when cell phones really got big. You see here is the massive battery. Let's take it off. I mean, might not look that big, but it's. I mean, look, this is my hand. I mean, this weighs almost as much as my iTouch. This one, I don't know how old this is. It's probably 8, 9 years old. I couldn't tell you. But yeah, this was so much fun. I always used to play Snake on it, which the controls were 2, 4, 6, and 8. And man, we always used to have competitions who could get the highest score in Snake with this. I absolutely loved this thing. I mean, it was crazy expensive. It was probably like what, $200, and the minutes for like pay as you go was like 75 cents a minute. It was crazy, but this was really cool. Actually, let me see here. I think if you push this down, you can take off the faceplate. No, I know you can do it. I just don't want to break it. But yeah, awesome. And last, but certainly not least. Now, this is actually not an old gadget by any means, but I don't know. It's I don't know. It's Ipod Nano, which, I mean, everybody had one of these. You see here. Well, not everybody had one of these, but this was my very first iPod. And I used to use that CD player. I got a boombox, and I was like, man, CDs are awesome. And then all of a sudden I get this, I'm like, wow, look how small it's thin. Let's see, this is the 2 gig model. Actually, this one, I actually still use this one. Whoops, that is on. But yeah, I actually still use this one, because I don't like to take my iTouch everywhere. So you hear that nice click wheel, and of course the screen is too bright for the camera to pick up. But yeah, this actually is the 2 gig, but man, I actually still carry this around quite often. I am so paranoid about my iTouch and stuff. I don't like to take stuff with me. But this is, I can take this around if I want to listen to music. And you see it's got that and all that good stuff. But yeah, so I don't know. This one's not old. This was what, 2004 or 2005, I think. Got this one, and but pretty cool. I always used to hate it. Never worked. I wish it just would have had a power switch. It's got the camera doesn't like to focus, but you got the hold switch, but it's nothing like the hold switch in the iTouch and iPhone, just because that actually shuts it off. But that's kind of regardless, whatever. So that's just about it. I've got more stuff, but I'd be here for an hour going through all this old stuff. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'm gonna set this here because it's awesome. So yeah, that's just about it. Well, what do you guys think? What's your kind of favorite old technology? Have you ever had any of these old gadgets? Have you ever had a Game Boy? Well, I'm sure everybody's had almost at least one Game Boy. I've had 3 and 4 and 5 and stuff. These are just my favorite ones. Well, this was my first, my favorite still. But yeah. So anyway, that's just about it, guys. Catch you later.